Big stories, big pressure, big nights at Anfield. This is Anfield Central, your home for the latest Liverpool news, transfers and sharp analysis. No noise, just what matters to real Reds. So if you love Liverpool, hit subscribe and stay ahead of every story. Let's get into it. Florian Wirtz injury scare headlines latest Liverpool fitness update after Nottingham Forest win. Liverpool may have secured a dramatic late win at the City ground, but the celebrations were tempered by fresh injury concerns, with Florian Wirtz handing Arne Slot another worrying moment before kick-off. The German midfielder was forced to pull out during the warm-up against Nottingham Forest, and instead of starting, he was left watching from the stands. On the pitch, Liverpool managed to snatch a late and crucial victory thanks to Alexis Mac Allister's decisive goal. That result keeps the Reds firmly in the race for Champions League qualification, now level on points with Manchester United and Chelsea in the battle for a top-5 finish. But attention quickly shifted back to the treatment room. Slot moved swiftly to calm fears over Wirtz, revealing that the issue was related to his back. "We don't think it is very serious, but he felt his back too much during the warm-up to start," Slot explained after the game. "He wasn't able to be 100% or even close to 100%. Slot also hinted at the physical demands of English football, suggesting Wirtz is still adapting to the intensity of the league after several months in it. "No matter how good you are on the ball, you need to be 100% at this level," he added. The early signs are cautiously optimistic. Liverpool hope Wirtz could be available again for the clash with West Ham United on February 28th, although Slot admitted that with injuries, you never know how things work out. There was slightly better news regarding Jeremy Frimpong. The winger missed the Forest victory after limping off against Qarabag FK last month with a thigh injury, but his return to training is said to be close. Slot has played down the severity of that issue in recent weeks, and Frimpong could also be in contention to face West Ham. In attack, Alexander Isak is progressing in his recovery from a broken leg sustained against Tottenham Hotspur in December. The striker has undergone surgery and has recently been spotted back on the training pitch, although only in running shoes rather than boots. Slot confirmed that Isak is not being rushed, with the 26-year-old still over a month away from a full return. A late March or early April comeback is currently viewed as realistic. Midfield remains a concern, however. Wataru Endo faces a lengthy spell on the sidelines after being stretchered off against Sunderland. The 33-year-old landed awkwardly on his foot, and despite initially trying to continue, the seriousness of the injury quickly became apparent. Slot has admitted Endo will be out for a long time, leaving him in a race against the clock to feature again before the campaign ends. At right-back, the news is more definitive. Connor Bradley has already been ruled out for the rest of the season after undergoing surgery on a serious knee injury sustained against Arsenal in January. There is faint hope he could recover in time for international duty if Northern Ireland reach the World Cup, but his club campaign is over. The same applies to Giovanni Leone. The 19-year-old ruptured his ACL on his debut against Southampton in September and has since undergone surgery. Although he has been seen around the training ground, a full return will require an extensive rehabilitation process, ruling him out for the remainder of this season. So, while Liverpool's late win over Forest strengthened their Champions League push, the injury list remains a significant subplot. Slot will be hoping that Wirtz and Frimpong deliver positive updates in the coming days, because with the run-in approaching, every available body could prove decisive.
Arne Slot admits he expected more misfortune after Alexis Mac Allister's late winner at Nottingham Forest. Liverpool kept their top four hopes alive with a dramatic late victory over Nottingham Forest, but even after the winning goal, Arne Slot was bracing himself for more heartbreak. At the City ground, it was Alexis Mac Allister who delivered the decisive moment, converting deep into injury time to seal a priceless 3 points. Yet just minutes earlier, the midfielder had already experienced the full swing of emotion. Mac Allister thought he had broken the deadlock, only for his goal to be ruled out for a controversial handball decision, one that left Liverpool frustrated once again. Reflecting on the afternoon, Slot did not hide his disappointment with his side's first-half display. "It was about having more control over their midfield," he said. "We lost every ball. We could not keep the ball for 1 second." The Dutchman admitted Liverpool were second best for large spells before the break. "If we went long, we lost the duel. We lost a lot of second balls. The only part of the game that went well was defending inside the box." Slot praised his players' resilience in that period, highlighting their commitment in protecting the penalty area. I saw players throwing themselves for long balls, defending set pieces. That's what we did well and stayed in the game. The momentum shifted after the interval. Slot suggested fatigue may have played a part, with Forest having played on Thursday while Liverpool had enjoyed a full week of preparation. For the first time this season, that was an advantage for us, that the team we faced played and we were off this week, he noted. As the clock ticked down and McAllister struck again in stoppage time, Slot admitted he was expecting the worst. With the way things are going this season, I would not have been surprised at all if both goals had been disallowed, but maybe fortune has changed, finally. McAllister himself acknowledged the fine margins involved. Asked about the disallowed effort, he admitted the ball had touched his elbow, but insisted the decision felt harsh. It did, but it's harsh, because it hit my back as well. I understand the rules, but it's football. It's very harsh. There was no doubt about the second one. The Argentine said, I knew I would get another chance. Before the throw-in, I told Hugo it would be our situation. True to his word, the opportunity arrived, and this time he made it count. I had another opportunity, and I am glad it went in, he added. The result lifts Liverpool to 6th in the Premier League table, now level on points with 4th-placed Chelsea in a fiercely contested race for Champions League qualification. With West Ham United set to visit Anfield next Saturday, Slot's side have a clear target, build momentum and turn late drama into sustained form. If fortune truly has shifted, Liverpool will be hoping this was the turning point in their season.
Rafael van der Vaart tells Mohamed Salah to leave Liverpool as future speculation grows. As Liverpool head toward a pivotal summer, the spotlight is once again on Mohamed Salah. With Champions League qualifications still in play, the Reds are already planning for next season, and Salah's future is one of the biggest questions facing the club. The 33-year-old is entering the final year of his contract, and speculation has intensified following reports linking him with a big money move to the Saudi Pro League. Earlier this season, Salah openly voiced frustration after being dropped by head coach Arne Slot, adding further intrigue to the situation. Now former Tottenham midfielder Rafael van der Vaart has offered a blunt assessment. He believes Salah may have lost a yard of pace and suggested that age is beginning to catch up with him, particularly for a forward who relies so heavily on speed. Van der Vaart also argued that managing a global superstar can create added pressure, with every selection decision becoming a headline issue. His verdict was clear: it could be best for both player and club if Salah moves on this summer. Despite that view, Salah remains one of Liverpool's most influential modern figures, and the club must balance loyalty with long-term planning. Meanwhile, another former Red is navigating his own transition. Trent Alexander-Arnold left for Real Madrid last summer, but has endured an injury-hit debut season in Spain. He admitted he understood the emotional reaction from supporters, saying the decision to leave was difficult but necessary for his career. Reports suggesting he could be moved on have since been dismissed, and new Madrid boss Alvaro Arbeloa has spoken positively about him. Back at Anfield, however, the focus remains firmly on Salah. With the transfer window approaching, Liverpool must decide whether to extend the era of one of their greatest icons or begin a new chapter under Slot. The months ahead could define the next phase of this project.
Pat Nevin warns Liverpool over Virgil van Dijk reality after Forest win. As Liverpool continue their push this season, one truth is becoming impossible to ignore: replacing Virgil van Dijk will not be easy. The Dutch defender delivered yet another commanding display on Sunday, helping the Reds keep a clean sheet in a dramatic win over Nottingham Forest. At the City ground, it was Alexis McAllister who grabbed the late winner, his stoppage-time strike confirmed after a tense VAR review. But once again, Van Dijk's influence at the back stood out. Now approaching his 35th birthday in July, and with his contract running until June 2027, the Netherlands international is still regarded as one of the Premier League's elite defenders. In fact, he has barely missed a minute of league action this season, a remarkable feat given his age and workload. Former Chelsea winger Pat Nevin summed it up perfectly during commentary on BBC 5 Live. Virgil van Dijk is such a class act, Nevin said. When he leaves, he'll be so difficult to replace. He's easily been the best player in white for Liverpool today. It's a reminder of just how central Van Dijk has been since arriving at Anfield in January 2018.
He has helped deliver 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League crown, 2 Carabao Cups, the FA Cup, the Community Shield, the UEFA Super Cup, and the Club World Cup. With more than 350 appearances in red, the only prolonged absence came during the 2020-21 season after that devastating ACL injury. Yet even now, under head coach Arne Slot, Van Dijk remains the defensive cornerstone. Speaking after the Forest win, admits the result came with a slice of fortune. "If you score in the last minute, there's always an element of luck," he said. "A draw would have been a fairer result than a win for us." He praised Forest's first-half performance, admitting Liverpool struggled to control midfield and had to defend numerous set-pieces just to stay in the contest. However, Slot felt his side improved after the break, possibly helped by Forest's midweek schedule. "We took over the game in the second half," he added. "We scored twice, and I would not have been shocked if both goals were ruled out, but maybe our luck is turning." There was also concern before kickoff as Florian Wirtz picked up an injury in the warm-up. Slot reassured supporters post-match, saying, "We tried it in the warm-up and he wasn't able to play. The good thing is there is a week to go until the next game." For Liverpool, the bigger picture remains clear. They may have secured 3 points at the City ground, but the long-term challenge is looming. Van Dijk is still performing at the highest level, but as Nevin warned, the day he eventually steps away will leave a void that's almost impossible to fill.
Mohamed Salah's smile says it all, as Liverpool win without him. For so long, Mohamed Salah's smile has been the symbol of Liverpool's greatest nights. Premier League titles, Champions League glory, unforgettable comebacks. His grin has framed an era of dominance at Liverpool. But at the City ground on Sunday, as the Reds snatched another dramatic victory, Salah wasn't at the centre of it. When Alexis Mac Allister fired home the stoppage-time winner against Nottingham Forest, Salah was watching from the bench. Nearly 20 minutes earlier, with Liverpool chasing the game, head coach Arne Slot had made a bold call, withdrawing the club's third-highest all-time scorer. In years gone by, that decision would have been unthinkable. Since arriving in 2017, Salah has been the man Liverpool turned to for decisive moments. Now that reliance appears to be fading. As he trudged off the pitch in Nottinghamshire, there was no visible anger. Instead, there was a smirk, a smile that felt more rueful than joyful. It was a stark contrast to the Salah of old, who would have been stunned to see his number lifted on the electronic board. But this is a different chapter. He is now on a run of 9 Premier League matches without a goal, his longest drought in the competition. Before kickoff, Jamie Carragher summed it up bluntly. This team isn't the Mohamed Salah team anymore. On Sunday's evidence, it was hard to argue. More concerning than the numbers are the visible signs. His first touch has deserted him at times. Passes that once split defences now drift astray. And physically, there are moments where he has barged off the ball, something rarely seen during his peak years. This isn't a reaction to one difficult afternoon. For months, performances have lacked the sharpness that defined him, even if there were flashes, like against Brighton, of the old swagger. Perhaps most telling was who changed the game. Teenage substitute Rion Gumoha made a greater impact in 15 minutes than Salah or Cody Gakpo managed before being withdrawn. Gumoha completed more dribbles and created more chances during his cameo. Carragher did not hold back. Gumoha did more in 15 minutes than Salah and Gakpo did before that. He changed the game and needs to be starting games. If this does prove to be Salah's final season at Anfield, as many suspect, it may also mark the beginning of Liverpool's attacking rebuild. There was another telling moment after full time. While Gumoha stopped to speak with reporters, Salah politely declined. There was a playful grin, a shake of the head, but no words. Once the face of Liverpool's triumphs, his smile now carries a different meaning. And as the Reds evolve under Slot, the biggest question is no longer about what Salah has done, but what comes next.
Aston Villa receive major boost in their bid to keep Morgan Rogers this summer despite mounting interest from across Europe. The 23-year-old has elevated his game to another level since arriving at Villa Park in February 2024, quickly becoming one of the Premier League's standout performers under Unai Emery.
Last season alone, Rodgers delivered 14 goals and 16 assists in 54 appearances. This term, he has already added 10 goals and 7 assists in 38 matches, while clocking 3,083 minutes, more than any of his teammates. His rise hasn't gone unnoticed internationally either. Under England boss Thomas Tuchel, Rodgers has started 5 of the Three Lions' 8 2026 World Cup qualifiers, underlining his growing importance on the global stage. Unsurprisingly, that progress has triggered serious transfer interest. Tottenham Hotspur are believed to view him as a dream target, while Manchester United are said to be giving serious consideration to a summer move. Liverpool have also been credited with interest, although suggestions of advanced talks have been downplayed. Meanwhile, Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, where Rodgers previously spent 4 years, and Paris Saint-Germain have all been linked as speculation intensifies. Despite that long list of suitors, reports suggest Villa are under no pressure to sell. Even with the club carefully managing finances to improve their PSR position, their ability to keep Rodgers does not depend on qualifying for next season's Champions League. Sources indicate their stance is highly unlikely to change, regardless of whether that European revenue boost arrives. Villa currently sit third in the Premier League, 6 points clear of the 3 sides directly below them: Chelsea, Manchester United and Liverpool, all level on 45 points. However, Emery will want momentum restored quickly, with just 2 wins in their last 7 league matches. Rodgers, valued at around £100 million and contracted until June 2031, remains central to Villa's long-term project. For now, the message from Villa Park is clear. No matter the noise this summer, they are not preparing to let their star playmaker go without a fight.